What's going on, Sechi Unit? Is the Central Man here. So this is my review of last week's AEW Dynamite for the 30th of December 2020, the final AEW Dynamite of 2020. This was a special episode of last week's AEW Dynamite. This is a tribute show to Brodie Lee, who passed away on the 26th of December, 4 days before the show, due to some lung disease. So, this is going to be a special one. And instead of doing like I always do my review of Dynamite in a correct order, I'm going to talk about the, wrestlers paying tribute to Brodie first and the matches second. So it started off, the bell tone 10 times. The half of the AEW roster, they're not in it. They look like they're about to cry. Sean Spears' face, he looks like he's about to cry. Miro, you can tell he's crying. It's really affecting. You can tell by the face of Brandy Rose. Britt Baker's face or head was down. You can tell they're trying to, they don't want to be there. It really affect them. And the first person paid tribute to Brodie on this episode was Jon Moxley. He did it on his house. He talks about he knows Brodie for 10 years, spent time in the Indies and mostly in WWE. He did not say WWE when he paid tribute to Brodie. He talks about, he likes being a father, his legacy inspired us to be a better person. He ends this tribute to Brodie, I miss you, Brodie. I'll never forget you. Or I think he'd probably say, I love you, Brodie. I'll never forget you. And then the second person to pay tribute to Brodie Lee was Darby Allin, the TNT champion. He said about, he saw him when he debuted to AEW. He talks about, he's not there, for the limelight, stealing the spot. He's there to elevate all of us, giving like knowledge to the younger people. It's a shame that he's a cool dude, never got a chance to wrestle. That was the final words of his tribute package to Brodie Lee, and it was a shame. He never got to fought Brodie Lee in AEW because the whole bulk of 2020, Darby was feuding with Team Taz, Taz, Brian Cage, Will Hobbs, and Ricky Sparks. And Brodie, he's feuding with Jon Moxley, for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, and also the Rhodes family, feuding with Cody for the TNT Championship. It's a shame, if Brodie did not drop the title to Cody in the September episode of AEW Dynamite in the Dark Collar match, you probably do Brodie versus Darby for the championship, probably at I think it was at All Out. Unfortunately, it's a shame. Has to do with timing. That could be a good match. Like Darby says, he could really put over Darby Allin because he's because Brodie at the time was about 41, and Darby, I think he's in his late early 20s. That could be, passing the torch. Unfortunately, that was not really the case. So they did this video package of photos of Brodie Lee with his wife Amanda and his 2 kids. You got like I think it was Casual Dax, the one member of FTR, formerly known as Scott Dawson in WWE, and also Arn Anderson paid tribute, and also this referee called Bryce Rensburg, who broke down in tears because said about we reconnect in the last few months in Brodie's life, said about him and his wife, basically both their wives spent together. It's not like Chris Benoit-esque, he kind of broke down in tears. I don't want to get into it, but yeah, it really affected him. And then Eddie Kingston paid tribute to Brodie Lee. He kind of like make fun of him because he called him Harry Potter, talking about he's rich, and he also sent messages to his kids about he's never He's not gone. He's not always gone. If you keep, if you'll remember him, he'll never be gone. He said about, he inspired me. He always loved you. And he said about he's not just a warrior in the ring, he's a warrior outside the ring. So the fourth, fourth person paid tribute was Chris Jericho. Jericho said him and Brodie Lee spent time in a hotel room in Saudi Arabia. This was, because they're in WWE together. This was Jericho's final year in WWE. His final pay-per-view with the company was that Saudi Arabia show, the Greatest Royal Rumble event in Saudi Arabia, before he left the company to go to New Japan and then AEW. He said about there was this black spot on his hotel wall. He thought it was a bug or a sticker. And Brodie said about, this is a arrow to Mecca. And Jericho says, how do you know that? Everyone knows that. He said about he's smart and intelligence. He said about, Jericho talked about his dog. He doesn't like strangers. And when Jericho's dog go towards Brodie, he licked him. And also he talked about he proves like he's the main event star. He's like, he's, a pay-per-view attraction. And he ends it with, I love you. I love you, Brodie. I always take care of you and your family. I'll get to Cody's tribute at the end of this review. And then let's move on to the matches. So, there's 5 matches on the show. And most of them are 6-person tag team match. One of them is a normal tag team match. I'll get to that later on. So, the first match to kick off the tribute show to Brodie Lee, we got Colt Cabana and the Young Bucks taking on Matt Hardy and the Private Party. Really a solid opener. It was back and forth. And also, Colt Cabana, he was about to cry, but he kind of suck it up and focus on this match. He kind of, one moment, he was going for like Brodie Lee's finisher, the discus clothesline. I think but one of the members of Private Party or even Matt Hardy kind of stopped Colt Cabana using the finish of Brodie Lee's finisher. So he kind of hit I think it was both Private Party members with Dusty Rhodes' bionic elbow. Matt Hardy was going to be heelish in this in the end of the match. He was trying to grab the chair, trying to hit Colt or the one member of the Young Bucks with the chair. The Private Party don't want to win this match that way. In the end, Colt Cabana hit like a Superman roll-up onto, I think it was Quen or Cassidy to score the victory. And all the members of the Dark Order wrestle on this show, doing the symbol, the Dark Order symbol, the claw, and that was it. Anyway, so the second match before that you had the Claimant trying to spoil the celebrations, trying to talk some shit, and then they got thwarted by Christopher Daniels and Kazarian, 2 members of SCU. No Scorpio Sky. I don't know, he's got injured or took some time off, got COVID or got released. I'm not 100% sure. And also, you can find this on the AEW YouTube channel. They also pay tribute to Brodie, Christopher Daniels really got emotional. He said about they wrestled in a match. I'm guessing it was a tag team match or just a singles match between Daniels or Brodie versus Brodie Lee, or Brodie Lee and one member of the Dark Order versus 2 members of SCU. Daniel said about he texted him, said about he thanked him, but he never got a chance to thank him back. Anyway, so they beat down the Claimant, put him back in the ring. I think the Young Bucks hit them with a double super kick, and then I think it was a bionic elbow combo, and that was it. So match number 2, we got Evil Uno and Stu Grayson and Lance Archer taking on Eddie Kingston, the Butcher, and the Blade. Like I said earlier, Eddie Kingston paid tribute to Brodie Lee. He said about, I love you, I never forget you. And also he run down, he kind of leaned heelish a bit towards the Dark Order. You're nothing without Brodie. The match, the same. It was another good match. In the end, Grayson and Uno hit their tag team finisher. I think it's called the Vitality to win this match. They hit it on the Blade. The Blade is formerly known as Braxton Sutter in TNA / Impact Wrestling. And afterwards, they beat down Eddie Kingston, hitting him with multiple forearm shots. It's not going to hurt Eddie Kingston. Like I said, they kind of put their storylines aside for 1 week, because of the said it was probably continue at the New Year's Bash show, the following week. So that was match number 2. Match number 3, we got Hammond Page, John Silver, and Alex Reynolds taking on members of the Inner Circle. That is MGF, Santana, and Ortiz with, I think it was Wardlow, Jake Hager, and Sammy Guevara in their corner. John Silver worked his ass off in this match. I think he hit like Santana with the Izaguri, hit Guevara with the basically with the, I think it was a dive off the ring apron, and did like a running clothesline onto MGF into the barricade. You got MGF was basically talking shit, going in the face of Brodie Lee's son, Brodie Lee Jr., going in his face, and then when I think he had there was a combo finish, I thought they're gonna win, Silver and Reynolds hit like a stunner, a Canadian Destroyer, and also a bookshot lariat combo. I thought they're gonna win. MGF got, I think it was Santana and Ortiz. MGF grabbed one of the, I think it was one member of Proud and Powerful. That is the name of the tag team of Santana and Ortiz of the Inner Circle near the ropes, and then afterwards, and then you got like he kind of grabbed Brodie Lee Jr.'s his kid's mask off, took his mask off, and then Brodie Lee Jr. hit MGF with the candlestick. In the end, John Silver hit, I think it was Ortiz or Santana with the Brodie Lee's finisher, the discus clothesline, to pay tribute. And before that, and you got really a debut of, I think it was a debut or showing up for just a one-off of Eric Rowan, because Wardlow, MGF's bodyguard, trying to get involved, and then you got like Brodie, and then you got like Eric Rowan came out of nowhere, chokeslammed, Wardlow, chased him out of the arena, or chased him out of the ring. Anyway, Silver, Reynolds, and Page got the victory. Then Eric Rowan, I think the announcers call him Eric Redbeard. I think there's a reason why they call him that, because they end up getting sued by WWE. That could be the reason. So anyway, Rowan came back with a sign, says, I'm gonna miss you, brother. We'll meet you down the road. I can't remember the sign. Really paying tribute to Brodie Lee / Luke Harper, because they were members of the Wyatt family, and the tag team known as the Bludgeon Brothers. In Luke Harper's final years in the run of the company before leaving in, I think it was 2019 or 2020. I think it was 2019 he left the company. So I think it was I think it was I'm gonna miss you, brother. We'll see you down the road. When Rowan had the sign. Sorry, I'm trying to remember. Anyway, so moving on to the fourth match. Fourth match, we got the non-6-person tag team match. This is a normal tag team match. This is for the women. We got Anna Jay, that's her name, the woman from the Dark Order, and Taya Conte taking on Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Penelope Ford. This was a decent match. In the end, I think it was Anna Jay locked Penelope Ford with the I think it was called the Queen Slayer. It's basically a sleeper hold. Penelope tapped out. Taya and Anna got the victory. Then Britt Baker, Tony Schiavone came down the ring, interviewed Britt Baker, and Britt Baker, she was kind of lean heelish, said this is rigged. This whole thing is a big rig, and and Britt basically winked towards Brodie in the sky, and then you got people gonna spin this, gonna twist that. Oh, Britt's disrespectful to Brodie, but that's not the case. She kind of did a video towards Brodie Lee. You can find it on YouTube. her and Brodie Lee together talked about, would Michael Jordan escort her to the ring? Brodie left. And also on the post show, it's on the YouTube, AEW YouTube channel. Britt talked about like when Brodie arrived, he kind of like, when Britt talked about she injured her nose, she was gushing blood, and then, Britt said she didn't know Brodie at the time, said about like, and he said red equals green. That was a quick heel turn, and then someone bled at the same time in the lip. Someone stole your gimmick. They laughed. You could tell, like, I understand why she's trying to stay character. Same as Eddie Kingston trying to stay, not gonna break character. Try to be the heel. Trying to at the same time stay character and at the same time paying tribute at the same time. I think that was the reason why they're trying to keep it trying to keep it respectful. I don't know, call it a big rig, and then and afterwards you got like Thunder Rosa beat down Britt Baker. You got Reba Rebel, trying to help Britt Baker. This is setting up like a rivalry and a future match between Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker. I don't know if Britt Baker is I don't know if Thunder Rosa is still the NWA Women's Champion. I think she is. I don't know. Anyway, so that was match number 4. The main event, we got the fourth and final, 6-person tag team match. We got Cody, Orange Cassidy, and Dark Order 10 taking on 3 members of Team Taz. That's the FTW, Foot the World Title Champion, Brian Cage, Will Hobbs, and Ricky Sparks. Another good match. In the end, you had really a battle of the managers. Cody's manager, Arn Anderson, and Taz. I bet they were teasing like a chair sword fight. In the end, Cody hit like he pins Ricky Sparks after a orange punch and a crossroads combo, and then afterwards all members of Team Taz beat down Cody, 10, and Orange Cassidy up. Then the lights gone black and lights gone back again. You got Darby Allin and Sting together. Members of Team Taz left the ring, and I'm guessing this is going towards, maybe there was 2 scenarios in this situation between Darby Allin and Sting. I think it could be a tag team match, 2 members of Team Taz taking on Darby Allin and Sting, or they're gonna do Sting versus Darby Allin, maybe for the TNT Championship. Maybe like basically, Darby Allin's gonna get the rub over Sting, Sting passing the torch to Darby Allin, or maybe both. It's one or the other. So afterwards, Cody paid tribute to Brodie Lee. He's about emotional. He said about like, he said about he's a beautiful man, he's leaving a beautiful legacy. He introduced his family, his son, Brodie Lee Jr., wearing a Dark Order mask, and his wife, Amanda. And then you got Tony Khan, the AEW president, or co-president, because, it's Cody and the Young Bucks and Omega, the Elite. And also, you got Tony Khan is also, Tony Khan, and also his dad is also the president of AEW, because his dad owns the Jacksonville Jaguars and also Fulham Football Club in the English Premier League. That I'm trying to get my words out. Yeah, like I said, it's the Elite, Cody, and the Khans. Shahid and Tony. Yeah, they awarded Brodie Lee Jr. the TNT belt. They're not officially retiring the TNT Championship. I think they are retiring the old design of the title. And the following, probably the first week of 2021, they changed the design of the title because Brodie Lee won the old design. He was the original winner of the old design of the championship. I think the new design is going to be gold. It's red and gold. The old design was black and red. So, and also, you had this, I don't know if that was, I think it was Brodie Lee's jacket in the middle of the ring, or his boots, I do not know. And afterwards, they end the show with a video package, a final tribute package of Brodie Lee. They also, there was pictures of Brodie Lee in the Indies, and there was a picture of him and Bray Wyatt. They gotta be very careful. Unless the WWE give him permission to use that photo, because Bray Wyatt, and the Wyatt family, a picture of him and Bray Wyatt together, because Brodie Lee was formerly known as Luke Harper in WWE. Footage of his first few months in AEW. I think his match with the him and Cody. I think the best match for Brodie's career in AEW was my favorite match favorite Brodie Lee match in AEW has to be the Dog Collar match, him and Cody. Yeah, and also him and Marks at Double or Nothing last summer. And that was the end. And it ends with the image of Brodie Lee, and says in the memory of Brodie Lee, the year when he's born and the year when he dies. That is 1979 until 2020, and that was the end of the show. And before that, I brought up the same. It's on the YouTube channel. Also, Dustin Rhodes and Jerry Lynn also pay tribute to Brodie Lee, and also Matt Hardy also pay tribute to him. Just go look it up in the AEW YouTube channel. Also, and also my final thoughts, my final rating. I'm not gonna rate this show. It's for a good reason. I'm not gonna say it's bad. I'm just gonna be more respectful, but I'm gonna say it. This show was good. It was every wrestler who wrestled on this show gave 100%, bust their ass to produce this good show. End this show and end this year. It was a terrible year in pro wrestling. The COVID pandemic, and also death of pro wrestlers. To Brodie Lee, to Shad, to Hana Kumara, to Road Warrior Animal, Howard Finkel, Kumara, and Soulman Rocky Johnson. It was a bad year, but in this show they end this year with a bang. One final send off for Brodie Lee, and they did well. The matches, they were good. In star quality level, they're between 3 to 4 stars. They just go like. I thought it's gonna be cancelled. They moved the New Year's Bash until probably the following 2 weeks. I thought they're gonna probably do the one episode of New Year's Bash for last week, and the first one in 2021. Unfortunately, they moved it for the first 2 weeks of 2021 to really do a tribute show to Brodie Lee. I think it's the first time they did that. Any type of pro wrestling show did a tribute to a wrestler since WWE in 2007. Chris Benoit. You're not gonna find it because Chris Benoit. The racing from history. You have to find it on YouTube. And then also the death of Eddie Guerrero. That was like they pay tribute. It's similar to Eddie Guerrero's tribute show. They gave 100%, put on a good show. They did it for two nights. One tribute show on Raw, one tribute show on SmackDown. So that was in 2005. So they gave it all, and they leave. Trying to put 2020 aside and focus on the new year, focus on the future. I don't know if the Dark Order is going to disband it. Like I said in my video on the death of Brodie Lee, is it going to disband, or they're going to continue? Are they going to have the new leader? Who knows? You gotta wait and find out. So anyway, if I give this I said I'm not going to rate this show, for respectful reasons. So I'm going to give it, not really for biased reasons, but I'm going to give it like properly a 9 out of 10. It was a good show, good trippy show. Wrestlers talk about Brodie Lee, talk about the life, how they spent, how Brodie Lee's the person, John Hunter, and the matches, they were good. No bad matches, nothing in the okay. They're just basically let's do this for Brodie, one hurrah, and let's move on, and let's have a great 2021. So anyway, hope you enjoy my review of the 30th of December's 2020 edition of AEW, the final AEW Dynamite, of 2020. I'm trying to say. And the tribute show to Brodie Lee. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash the like button. And subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube. Before I sign off, instead of doing it on a traditional Saturday when I do my reviews of AEW Dynamite, that will be not on. Yeah, it's not on Saturdays anymore. It will be on Wednesdays. Previous weeks. Leading up to the current week's episode of Dynamite. And also next week I will review NXT New Year's Evil. I think it's the first NXT episode of 2021. That'll be next week. In the next couple of weeks I will review Impact Wrestling. I'm trying to get back watching Impact Wrestling. So, yeah, like, share, subscribe. And this is Central Man officially signing out. Rest in peace, Brodie Lee / John Hubner. You will be missed. Long live the insulting one.